said about people on the other side of the aisle, or our friends and neighbors, or what we say about people who disagree with us. Look at how far we've come. We don't notice it. It's kind of like, if I would have looked at myself, 8 years ago, and then I hadn't seen a mirror, today I'd go, geez, what happened to you? But because I see myself every day, I'm kind of like, I still look pretty good. That's what's happened to us as a nation. We see ourselves every day, and we don't recognize how far we have drifted. 4 years of anger and division at that level. I told somebody on the way here, you want a campaign ad? You want an effective campaign ad? Here it is. 2 little children, name calling, using the P word. An 8-year-old saying, well, you're a whore. And the mother walking in saying, kids, where did you learn that? BV. Him. God help us. God help us. We have a chance. The cement is not dry. But the next guy, when he comes in, that cement dries. And we're done. If it's a socialist, he pushes us over the edge. Because socialism won't work. It'll take $19 trillion and make it $39 trillion. The rest of the world is running away from socialism. I was over in Sweden a couple months ago. They couldn't get away from it fast enough. But people that are running right now to socialism are the people that say a key phrase that a lot of Americans are saying, and that is, the system no longer works. It doesn't work anymore. And they also add, I'd like it to be fair. Our system fair. I would like to translate that into American language, if you will. The American version of fairness. And that is equal justice. Fairness never exists. I think all of our mothers told us life isn't fair. Fairness doesn't exist. Nobody can make all of the pains that you've had in your life go away, because quite honestly, we all have pain in our life. We all have problems in our life. Life isn't fair. However, there is something called equal justice under the law. The law. The problem with America, the reason why the system isn't working is because we're not using the law anymore. People up at the top are using the law to their benefit. But the law comes from God through the Constitution. And we are there to protect and defend. The President of the United States doesn't stand up and take the oath of office and say, I promise to protect and defend, make sure to take away the money from the rich and give it to the poor. I promise that I'm going to make people who are gay, I'm going to give them the right to be married, or I'm going to take away a right to be married. That's not his job. His job is very clear. I promise to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. Our presidents have not done that for quite some time, whether it is a Republican or a Democrat. It was the Republicans that allowed the NSA to start spying on people without a warrant. When I talk to people like Marco Rubio, he knows that's not constitutional. He's told me it's not constitutional. Quote, but, Glenn, we have to do what we have to do. No, we don't. We do what is constitutional, and if we don't like it, then we bring it to the people and we say, let's reason this out. Do we want to change the Constitution so you don't have to have a warrant to spy on people? And the common sense of the American people will get it right. No, it's not unreasonable to go to a judge and say, I think this person is up to something, I need a warrant. And it can happen that fast. We don't disregard the Constitution of America. Have you ever made a good decision in haste? Have you ever made a good decision when you're angry? Neither have I. We always start our apologies to somebody, I'm really sorry, I was angry. America is angry right now. And that brings us to the second choice. We have socialism, and then we have authoritarianism. And make no mistake, that's Donald Trump. I have not heard Donald Trump talk about the Constitution of the United States. I've heard him say the most outrageous thing I've heard him say, and he says a lot of outrageous things, is, and this is a quote, and he's changed it since I started talking for Ted Cruz. When I was in Iowa, I pointed this out, and now he's changed it. But up until 3 weeks ago, he was saying, I will make America great again. No man can make America great. It is we, the people, that make America great. But just like the people who are running to socialist, his people say the same thing. The system is broken. It doesn't work. It's a common theme. And they're right. It doesn't work. But they're angry. We don't make good decisions when we're angry. People want revenge. I'll make them pay. Well, I can't because nobody's listening to my voice, but I'll tell you what, if we get him in office, oh, they'll pay. It's a really dangerous thing. This is quite possibly the most dangerous candidate. I asked David Martin because he knows history. I know the presidents, but he probably knows all the candidates that had run against those presidents all the way back to George Washington. And I asked him, is it hyperbole to say he's the most dangerous candidate to have ever run for office? And he believes there's good possibility he is. Why? Because he's an authoritarian figure. He gets his way. I'll win. You'll get tired of winning. How many of us were taught it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. I don't want to play the game his way. If you cross him, he destroys you. That's not America. That's not the way we are. As the sheriff just said, America is great because America is good. What is that? And quite honestly, and I say this as a man of faith, and I say this, somebody asked me to speak at my own church, and I said, oh no, I don't think you want me to. And they said, why not? And I said, because I'm going to read you the riot act. And so let me just say about my church, and you can apply it to your church. Shame on us. Shame on us. How can we not know the difference between good and bad? How can we not know the difference between a godly man and an ungodly man? I just keep thinking of the scriptures. All week it has been in my head. And they cried out for a king. And what does God do? He always says, no, you don't want one. No, you don't want one. And they cry out for a king. And God says, well, it's up to you if that's what you want. And he gives them a king. And what happens? I mean, I remember as a kid reading the scriptures thinking, man, these people are stupid. Look, all you have to do is go back 3 chapters and they were doing the same thing. How dumb do they have to be? We know how dumb they have to be. We're doing it. We're doing it. And we think that somehow or another this time it's different. It is not. History repeats itself over and over again, and we are repeating the mistakes of the Weimar Republic. And let me tell you something. Satan does not destroy. What does he do? He perverts. He takes something of power, and he doesn't destroy it, he perverts it. He turns it inside out, and he uses it for his purposes. I warn you. And I've been saying this before I knew Donald Trump. I said this at Fox. I warned the right. If you don't guard your heart, if you don't make sure that you aren't angry, there's going to come a time, and a guy who's going to stand up is going to be awfully flashy, and he'll say, I'll solve your problems, and we will run to that man, and I'm telling you, he will pervert the United States, and we will be the darkest nation to ever have graced the face of the earth. We must watch what we're doing, because Satan will pervert us. And the darkness that we are capable of. It's the story of the Tower of Babel. You know, if you read this with a rabbi, there's 2 gods. There's one God, but he has 2 faces, 2 personalities. There's the loving, embracing God. who heals and comforts. And then there's the hacked-off God. But when it comes down, it's like, okay, I want to take care of you. Which God, according to the Jewish oral tradition, came down to break up the Tower of Babel? The angry or the loving? You would think I was always thought the angry. It's the loving. The loving God said, oh my gosh. Because this is the first time, I believe, in human recorded history that socialism or communism was displayed. Tell me the candidate that you've ever heard say this. Hey guys, you know what we're going to do? You give me power, and we're going to make bricks. Okay, we're all wrong. But that's what Nimrod said. Hey, everybody, let's consolidate, and we're going to make bricks. And then we'll build a tower to the sky. Bricks are symbolic of people. Are we bricks as people? We're stones. Each one of us is different. Each one of us, but that takes some time to put them all together and to make a big tower. But if you make bricks, man, you can just stack them one on top of another. So what Nimrod was talking about was, I'll make bricks. We're going to make bricks. I'm going to make everybody the same. And then I'm going to build a tower to the sky.